Record.
Okay.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Well, I would like to apologize that because my camera is going to be off. I'm not currently at home, and Terence too because his webcam is broken, I think. I hope it isn't like there is a problem or whatsoever. So, I hope you're doing great and had a great day. Well, guys, I want this session to be very interactive because I want to hear your voices, talk to us. But please, make sure during the session you're taking notes because we're going to share very important lessons to you. So, without losing any moment, Terence will introduce you to today's topic. Over to you, Terence.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. As you know, I think today's topic will be about success through failure. Um, John Maxwell, famous leadership expert, speaker, and author, in his book that we will be using as a reference today, "Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn," says something really beautiful, and I quote: "Mistakes can often be our best teachers." Mistakes, les erreurs. Nous sommes éventuellement tous exposés à l'erreur et le monde en effet est ainsi. Certes, les erreurs sont inévitables et font partie de la vie. I would like to know what would you guys define as a mistake? C'est quoi pour vous une erreur? Anyone? Pitya?
Quelque chose normal.
I can't hear you well.
Quelque chose qu'on a mal fait.
Okay. Anyone else? Emily?
Moi, j'aurais dit que c'est genre quelque chose qu'on aurait pu mieux faire. Parce que dans le sens que une erreur, pour moi, personnellement, me dirait, c'est qui, mais quand on fait une erreur, c'est que je me connais qui, si me fait ça, j'aurais mieux fait la chose en question.
Okay. Pitya, what do you think?
Can travail une mal série, soit une misguided.
Okay. Donc, your answers are good. The dictionary defines a mistake as something wrong or incorrect, and I think you guys agree. John Maxwell va au-delà de cette définition, de cette explication, et voit l'erreur comme un moyen justement d'apprendre. Et donnez-moi 2 minutes.
Pardon?
Just give me 2 minutes. The PowerPoint isn't moving.
Okay.
Anyway, John Maxwell goes beyond this definition et voit que l'erreur est un moyen justement d'apprendre. Cependant, il est bon de comprendre que la différence entre le succès et l'échec, c'est justement apprendre de ses erreurs. I will now yield the floor to Lakshayu.
Well, yes. Firstly, I would say that one never really loses or fails. Instead, we learn because learning never ends. Well, today I won't do much talking because I'll show some videos to use. But let me give you a simple example of how one really learns from his failures and achieve success afterwards, if I may say. The most basic example that I could put together is about a child, a student sitting for his essay exams on his first attempt failed. But after this failure of his, he sat for his second attempt. Then he passed with flying colors. Well, I'm not saying that one should always fail on the first attempt, but this example shows that this child, from his failure, he literally learned. He learned so hard that he passed with flying colors. And I believe most of us here may have undergone such similar situations in life, not necessarily for an exam, but differently. Well, I'd like to Terence to take over. Over to you, Terence.
I was talking and forgot I was muted. So before adding to what you said, I would like to quote this from the book itself. Most of us are taught, beginning in kindergarten, that mistakes are bad. How often did you hear, don't make a mistake? In reality, the way we learn is by making mistakes. A mistake simply shows you something you didn't know. Once you make a mistake, then you know it. To add to what she said, I want you guys to take a moment and dive into nostalgia. J'aimerais que vous preniez un moment et que justement vous pensiez à la première fois que vous avez fait du vélo. I think it's an experience that we all shared. Quand vous êtes fait capable de monter bicyclette, c'est pas comme monter tout de suite. Vous êtes cogné, vous êtes tombé, vous êtes brossé, des fois vous êtes saigné, vous êtes pleuré, etc. C'est pas une règle qui nous fait qu'on a vraiment une bicyclette, mais éventuellement, nous apprendre l'équilibre. And I think for life or for anything that you handle, you tackle, it's pretty much the same. John Maxwell believes that everyone can gain insight and value from understanding mistakes for what they truly are. And listen to me carefully. Mistakes are but opportunities for improvement. Lakshya will now display to you a video.
So, guys, I would love to share a video to you about success and failure. So, if you have any questions, you may ask after the video or type in the chat box. Where is it? Can you see my screen? Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Now you just have to confirm to me whether you can hear it or not. Just wait. Can you hear it?
Non.
Just wait.
On n'entend pas malheureusement.
Wait,
Press your share screen là. There is just a tick you need to put to share the sound.
Can you hear now? I started sharing the sound.
No.
Okay, let me just.
I think you have to close the sharing and start it again. Then it will work.
Okay, let me just start sharing again. Here it is. Can you hear?
No.
Okay, can why is it so? I don't know why it's not. Vous n'avez pas pétendé là?
Non.
Wait là. Hein? Let me just go. Where is it? It's still no sound, right?
No.
Okay, maybe I should turn on the caption.
Are you hearing the video? Like,
Yeah,
Lakshya, are you hearing the video?
No, I'm
C'est, je crois que tu as mute des sites là-haut.
Okay, let me just.
Tomorrow.
Okay, my bad. I didn't do it. Okay, here it is. Watch it carefully and mute down any points you want to.
You want to be somebody greater than the person you are today. You see yourself succeeding, you have a vision, you have a dream. Congratulations. You're already 10 steps ahead of 95% of the world. Imagine if Michael Jordan was scared of missing. he would have never taken a shot. Imagine if Steve Jobs was afraid of people not liking his product. There would be no iPhone. So ask yourself this. Do you want to be a person who fears failure, or do you want to be a person who loves success? Which one? Because you're going to have to pick today. And I'll tell you one thing. One is a failure, and one is a success. And if you love success, there is nothing that can stop you. All those negative things people say will mean nothing. They're gonna talk about how only 1% make it to the top. Big deal. Wanna know something else? Only 1% stick with that fitness program long enough to see results. Only 1% of nerds stick with that video game long enough to get good at it. Only 1% of relationships stick it out to the end. That doesn't mean you have a 1% chance. It just means you can't behave like the 99%. You'll have to do something better than giving up a month from now. Those are just numbers. You want to talk about numbers? Take a look around you and take a good look around you. Are you like 99% of the people around you? If you are, then you're in the wrong video, my friend. You have to love success just as much because that's what's gonna allow you to get up and go for it. Being scared to fail won't do anything. In fact, when you love success and you start going for it, guess what happens? You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail 10 times, 100 times, maybe even 1,000 times. But that's okay. Failure isn't permanent. Falling isn't permanent. You get right back up and keep going. And this time, you're gonna be stronger, wiser, and you'll be more driven than ever. And for every 10 failures, you'll land one success. You have to love success so much that you're willing to fail 10 times before you can succeed once. That's how a winner does it. I want to explain the biggest myth that most people think leads them to success. And here's the myth. You might believe if you're scared to fail, you won't fail. Lies. Biggest myth ever. And I believed it. You see, I always thought that being scared to fail in life would literally keep me from failing. I would look at the losers around me and I would say, sheesh, I never want to turn out like him. I really believed this train of thought would help me succeed. Until one day, I was walking down the street and I saw an old man. Had a hat, suspenders, and a cane. Was about 80 years old. This old man was barely walking. He could walk, but the cane helped a lot. He was struggling. So anyway, he was walking across the street and he ended up falling. So I went over to go help him. And he gets up, says thank you, and we introduced ourselves. Had a little conversation. Told me his name and I told him mine. His name was Robert, by the way. And right as he walked away, I told him, this is what I said. Robert, you should stay inside where it's safe, my friend. And Robert turns around and says to me, I love walking. And I love walking way more than I'm afraid of falling. So I asked him, well, what about your safety? Don't you want to live? And he told me this. These are the exact words he said. He said this. Solo, living means doing what you love to do. And if I have to fall here and there to do what I want to do in life, then so be it. And he just walked away. Never saw him again. That was it. But that statement really had me thinking, and it had me thinking hard because I learned something that day. That's when I realized the true key to success. You see, I always thought if I could just fear the act of failing, and if I fear it like crazy, I will succeed. Because I thought the fear would magically motivate me to get out there and start taking action. But after that day, I realized something. I realize it's the love for success that will lead me to succeeding. So just imagine if Robert feared falling. Would he even start walking? Of course not. He wouldn't even do what he loved to do. He would sit at home and take no type of action. But he loved walking. Wasn't even scared to fall. It gave him life. That's what allowed him to get up and do it. He loved walking so much, he was willing to fall 10 times a day just to do it. And you have to be the same. So the next time someone tells you, you're gonna fail, you know what you tell them? Tell them they're right. But you're not afraid to fail. You're not afraid to take action. You're not afraid to jump. You're gonna fail 10 times, but you know what? It's cool. Because on the 11th time, you'll succeed. Oh, you'll succeed, all right. And it'll feel good. And while you're over here living the life of your dreams and complete happiness, guess where they're gonna be? That's right. They'll be failures, the real failures. Over there where it's safe, scared to fail. Ironic, isn't it?
Well, I hope you understood well what the video meant. Can you say anything, guys, about the video?
Is there anything you want to talk about, an experience you
no.
want to share related to that video?
Okay, let me just explain it. So the video is about, it says, keep failing and you'll succeed. So it is true, but to add up something to this phrase, I would say it is good that you lose or fail as long as you are learning from the failures. And maybe Terence would add up something to this. Over to you, Terence.
So, what I would like to say is, you always learn more from your losses than you ever can from your successes. The key to achieving, to distinguish first between what you failed at and what you can improve, is the approach that you have to the event, the perspective, the look at your losses the right way really differs an event from being successful or a failure. Lakshayu, could you please carry on?
Yeah, and to this I would add that Michael Eisner put it as, I quote, failure is good as long as it does not become a habit, unquote. That is, if you continue to make the same mistakes, you are not learning from your failures. This is when it becomes a destructive habit and instead of a moment to propel you towards success. Over to you, Terence.
So, comme tu as dit, alors que justement les erreurs sont importantes et que genre mistakes helps in learning, il est aussi important de faire les bonnes erreurs. I know it doesn't make much sense, but that's what Lakshayu has been talking about, the bad habits and stuff. Maxwell nous fait comprendre qu'il y a deux raisons pour lesquelles nous faisons des erreurs. Premièrement, l'ignorance. L'ignorance would mean que nous n'avons pas justement the necessary information, the required skills and competencies. Mais pourtant, we go forward to accomplish this thing and go to that event without the actual needs. Et deuxièmement, nous avons stupidity. Donc, contrairement à l'ignorance, stupidity is when you do have the competences, you do have all the material, you have the knowledge, the required information, but there is a complete misuse of it. Lakshayu, I'll yield the floor to you.
Yes, thank you. I'll take a piece from the book Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. Your brother said, I quote, "When I have listened to my mistakes, I have grown," unquote. And he added to this, I quote, "The words, be careful, have been my takeaway from this experience." When he means experience, it's about a mistake he made. And he says, I quote, "Mistakes are acceptable as long as the damage isn't too great. Or as they say in Texas, it doesn't matter how much milk you spill, as long as you don't lose your cow." Unquote. Well, guys, this is food for thoughts, so you have to nourish your brain. Also, I'd love to share with you all something which my mentor, Mr. Ravin Papia, usually said to me before I completely cut off from him due to some reasons. Well, he used to say that do all the things that you know you are going to fail at. At first, I thought it is something not doable. I mean, who would do things that they're going to fail at? I mean, everyone wants to be successful, right? But guys, what my mentor, told me, it really helped, because if I never did it right now at this very moment, I would have been somewhere else. I would have not been productive at all. I would have not been in the award itself. I would have been instead lying in the corner of the house, sleeping. I don't know, maybe I would have been a couch potato, leading a very sedentary lifestyle like most fat Americans. And as a matter of fact, it would have not been good for me physically and mentally. But guys, when in pursuit of your success, please do not get in a rat race, because a rat race is an endless, self-defeating and pointless pursuit towards success. A success which is not yours. So guys, for you to be able to understand what a rat race is, I would love to share with you. Just give me a few seconds. Okay. Here it is. Can you hear the sound?
What if you lived your whole life only to realize that it was wrong? Our greatest fear should not be of failure, but of succeeding at things in life that don't really matter. We seek purpose in life, but do we seek the rat race? Living life just for the weekend, or living life just on the weekend, because the other 5 days belong to your manager. The only way to get people to like working hard is by motivating them. Today, people must understand why they're working hard. Oftentimes, people make the mistake of getting stuck. Your life is certainly some sort of journey, and sometimes we might not be aware that we are taking the wrong path. Welcome to the rat race. You have a new life, a new job, and new goals. In pursuit of your goals, you are woken up at 6:30 a.m. by an alarm. You then drag yourself out of bed, shower and brush your teeth quickly so you can get to work in time. Don't forget to force feed yourself too. Most people catch the subway, but if you've been in the race long enough, you may have a car. Every morning the routine is to crawl in traffic with others just like you to get to work another day in pursuit of your goals. Your goal is to get a promotion, to get a better pay. You will need that better pay to pay off that car you're driving and the rent you owe because you chose to live closer to your work. Soon the time will come where you can pay it off. Then once that's done, you'd want better clothes, a better house, a better car, and a bigger TV. As your income increases, so does your credit card debts. You must work harder. The harder you work, you are drawn into this busy mechanical world. Time seems to go by faster, months come by sooner, and you've become part of a machine that profits for someone else's success. The system has got you thinking that this life is normal. You are told to be grateful for your job. They have lured you with retirement benefits and told you when and how many weeks each year you are free for a holiday. You have become their slave. It has become a life of fear. You must race in order to pay your debts, in order to sustain what you think is life. The trouble is, most people do not live, they just race. They are trying to reach some goal far away in the horizon that they focus so hard in getting there that they forget all the beautiful things life presents along the way. And when they finally awaken from this race, they find that they are too old and worn out, realizing there is no difference whether the goal was reached or not. Unless one is able to live fully in the present, the future is a hoax. There is no point whatsoever in making plans for a future, which you will never be able to enjoy. You will never be able to sit back with full contentment and say, now I've finally arrived.
Well. Some might say that he or she is not in a rat race or whatever, but unknowingly, we are. Well, sorry that I just muted myself. Well, the video clearly showed that being in the rat race is literally a hoax to your own future, because you're striving day and night so that someone else's success thrive. Guys, you have to live for you and not for someone else, not for someone else's success, where you don't understand anything at all. So guys, live, fail, learn and thrive for your own success. Now, before yielding the floor to Terence, there is this other video. I know I've been showing videos quite a while, but this video, I saved it for this very moment. I don't know if some of you already watched it, but it's about Jack Ma, the co-founder and former executive chairman of the Alibaba Group. Let me just show you the video.
I did not have a rich father. I tried 3 times for university. All failed. I applied for Harvard for 10 times. All failed. They don't even want to see me. For the last time, I went to the Teachers College, which was considered the 3rd or 4th class of my city. So I applied jobs for 30 times, got rejected. It was so difficult at that time. I was so frustrated because I taught in the university. My pay was $10 a month because I could not find a good job. In 1994, discussed that I'm going to do something called internet. And 23 of them against it. They said, this is a stupid idea. We have never heard about internet, and you know nothing about computer. And I never thought I was smart. Nobody believed that I could be successful because everybody said, well, this guy think differently, think crazily, they think about something never work. I tried to borrow $3,000 US from the banks. Took me 3 months, but I still cannot get it. We talked to over 30 or 40 venture capitalists. Everybody said, no, forget it. A lot of people said Alibaba is a terrible model. As I said, I believe it. I think this thing could be big if we keep on working. I never thought it would be that big like today. But I believe that something is waiting for me there. And I have to work hard to prove myself. That was the tough experience. So we gathered $50,000 US from 18 founders. We started. For the first 3 years, we did not have even $1 revenue from our business. It was not easy.
You don't make any money. You've got extraordinary claims, and yet you make nothing.
That's the internet.
Yes, but what's the point? Are you a millionaire?
Now? No.
Do you want to be?
I hope.
But why it keeps going ahead, going forward? Because I received lots of email of thanks from the customers. They say, this is such a great thing. We cannot pay you, but this thing helped us. If you keep on helping us, one day you will be successful, and I believe this. Little by little, we build up our business. Little by little, we build up our ecosystem of the infrastructure. And now, after 16 years, we have an Alibaba group, we have a Tmall group, we have a Taobao group, we have Alipay. And people said, you are so smart. How could you make a company like that? Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Jack Welch, Larry Page, Mark Zuckerberg. The difference between those people and other people, they are always optimistic for the future. They never complain. They always try to solve the problems of the others. When you're optimistic, it's always opportunity. People same here today. Jack, where's the opportunity? I don't have a job. I don't have this, I don't have that. The best assets you have is that you are young. Don't complain. Let the other people complain. The opportunity always lies where people complain. Think about how you can make things different. And then when you think about this, start to do it. I saw a lot of people, young people, have fantastic ideas every evening. But in the morning, they go to the office same again. If you really want to be an entrepreneur, you have to do the things before the other people do. You have to wake up before the other people wake up. You have to be more brave than the others. When I was young, I went to Hangzhou West Lake. There's a hotel. Many foreign visitors visit there. And I went there every morning, 5 o'clock, to practice my English. The foreign visitors come, I practice my English. I don't know why at that time, but I found everything the foreign visitors told me are so different from the things my parents told me, my teacher told me, and the newspaper I read. So since then, I think everything use my own brain. Use your own brain to think. To everybody, to any person, tomorrow is new. Make the move, make the action. Whether investors believe in this or not, whether your friends believe it or not, whether your parents believe it or not, that's not important. You believe it, your team believe it, and work day and night on this. Make enough mistakes. You fall, you stand up. If you really want to work for yourself, think about the others, because only when the other people are successful, when the other people are happy, you'll be successful, you will be happy. Don't worry about the money. Money follow the people. People should follow the dreams. If you have a dream, just to go ahead.
Oh, we're left with only 2 participants. Okay, that's fine. So, in the video, you clearly saw how many times Jack Ma was rejected and failed a lot, and yet he learned a lot and a lot. And now, as you know, as we all know, Jack Ma is amongst one of the most successful person that walks the earth. He is the 3rd wealthiest person in China. And the thing that caught my attention in the video right now, it's about complaining. I used to complain a lot about everything, but recently I started to stop complaining and instead try to find a solution to everything. So my biggest the biggest problem that I used to complain is about being single my whole life. I know I'm still a teenager, but yeah, I used to complain that to my friends, I'm single, I don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I don't know. And so I started to work out myself more, and apparently I've started to get proposals. I don't know how to I don't know how this get into this context, but I've stopped complaining and started to find solutions to this problem. So, guys, as we have reached the very end of me displaying the videos, I would say the last but not least thing I would say is to never give up, because giving up is going to be your biggest failure or greatest failure ever. Just don't do it. Just keep on learning from your mistakes, your failures, or losses, if I may say. Thank you. Over to you, Dance.
Okay, so before I say what I have to say, I would like to hear a little more from you. Tell us about experiences that you've had, something you'd like to add, anything related to the topic. Anyone?
Moi, j'aimerais ajouter que,
Yes.
pareil comme là que ça vient d'expliquer du genre de ce que. Attends, j'ai pas les mots. Quand il a arrêté de complain, etc., ça lui a aidé. I feel like it's more about the mindset. Et genre, si
Yes.
on ne se focus pas sur the issue que pour lui était the single life, et que on prend plus du temps et de l'énergie à trouver la solution. Donc, du coup, like, nous put a more positive minds, have a more positive mindset, that was the issue. Et du coup, c'est ça qui me pensait, moi, pour aider like, à aller de l'avant. Je ne sais pas réussir une belle expression là, mais.
Okay, yes,
Yes.
I do get you. Anyone else? Hitcha, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I forgot to say, Picha left because he has tuition, and it's now I'm reading his message. So, yeah,
Okay.
carry on.
Moi, je pensais, oui, un mindset qui est très important pour dire que pour dire tu arrives, tu gagnes du succès dans la vie et tu vas bien prendre un commerce négatif, pas pour ça attention. Et aussi, quand j'ai pensé si ben a fait que quelque chose de mal plus tard, ça veut dire capable vraiment de faire quelque chose de mal énorme, mais de dire qu'on s'en compte, et puis c'est improve l'eau, c'est-à-dire de continuer depuis l'eau, ça, là, de continuer, et capable un jour, sûr, pour arriver à rechercher sur un goal, c'est ça.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Arshad, do you have anything to say, to add?
Yes. Is there anything you want to add?
We'd love to hear you.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So I would like to share an experience before getting back to the formalities. When I think of this topic, I always think of adventurous journeys, especially the mock ones, but adventurous journeys in general. Because at first I thought I wouldn't be able to make it through the Duke of Edinburgh Rose International Award. Plusieurs fois, on the track when my team and I would be like procrastinating to walk. I don't know if that makes sense, but yes, lots of time we will be like, let's go home, let's give up. This is not gonna work. And le truc qui m'a beaucoup moqué dans les Adventurous Journey, c'est quand il y a des gens qui viennent vers nous et qui nous disent, ouais, vous allez où? Ah oui, je vais pas faire ça. It takes a lot of time, a lot of devotion. Prends une bus d'étaler, personne va connaître, etc. Et genre, we were tempted to make those mistakes. Souvent, bon, there is room for mistake, mais genre, ce que j'ai appris, c'est justement the improvement of it. Et je tiens à dire que now that I'm doing my gold award, learning from those mistakes is what brought me here. Et que genre, when successfully achieved two mobile adventurous journeys. So yeah, that's something I was willing to share. And also, like en guise de conclusion, if you will, apprendre de ses erreurs, c'est effectivement pas donné à tout le monde. C'est une mentalité qui se nourrit, c'est quelque chose qui se développe. There's room for learning. Mais as we're talking about making mistakes and making experiences, il est bon de noter que faire des erreurs n'est pas égal à avoir de l'expérience. Maxwell believes that experience might not be the best teacher, but evaluated experiences is, or rather. C'est justement bien de se poser des questions. What went well? What should I do differently? Qu'est-ce que je peux changer en fait? And that truly differs success and failure. Once you overcome that initial paralysis of making mistakes and learning from them, the next step is to strive and make more mistakes so that you can grow. Maxwell notes that growth is a process of trial and error, experimentation, and improvement. The failed experiments are as much of that process as the ones that work. Je vais le répéter encore. Mistakes are truly not the enemy. The issue arises when you don't learn and make these mistakes again and again and again. And this is a major issue that most people encounter. You gotta embrace the mistakes for what they truly are. Et j'ai dit ça plus tôt. J'espère que vous vous rappelez de ça. C'est quelque chose à justement se rappeler. If you have to remember one sentence is mistakes are but opportunities for improvement. There are much to learn justement from losses. Humility, accepting reality, responsibility, staying focused, optimism, willingness, getting perspective, adapting change, growing value. Those are things that you get justement from changing rather those mistakes and turning them into experiences. C'est seulement lorsqu'il y a de l'introspection et qu'on apprend de ses erreurs that true growth and success happens. And this is what yields the end of this of today's session.
Yeah. So, does any of you have any questions? Herschel, Emily, c'est une question.
No, I don't think I have any questions.
Is there any clarification, something you didn't understand, something that you would like to know more about?
C'est pas grave. Au fait, si vous vous rappelez la dernière fois, je fais un peu d'urban leadership styles, mais tu n'as work, tu sais plus autres. Est-ce qu'ils ont fait aller? C'est pas grave, c'est pas le faire parce que.
La semaine dernière, on va tirer le studio.
Emily aussi pas la semaine dernière because she had exams. So I think we will report the homeworks to
Yeah, j'étais pas là.
C'est pas grave, nous capables de montrer les autres assez là. C'est bien nous.
Yeah, but I think we sent the recording on the
Exactement.
group, right?
That's what I would say. J'espère que je vais vous regarder les recordings qu'on poste parce que that's the same session. And to be honest, we do give a lot of ourselves in these sessions.
Yeah.
So it would be nice if you refer to those.
Mais pas grave, nous capables. Je suis à m'extraire, nous montrer les autres documents là. Je do it right the spot.
Please do.
Yeah. Here it is. Je vais trouver.
Yeah.
So we have 6 leadership styles: base setting, commanding or coercive, visionary, affiliative, democratic, and coaching. And on the right side, you see the behaviors. You just need to match it with the leadership style and the behaviors. Is it fairly? Next, like one by one.
Oui.
Okay. Base setting. Start with Herschel itself.
Puis setting la dernière, people first.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the second one, okay, goes to Emily.
Avant-dernière, I think, do it because I say so, don't ask questions, just do it.
Yes. I believe it's right. Troisième visionary Herschel.
La première, let's remind ourselves of the Lord's purpose.
Yes. Yeah. And Emily affiliative.
Moi, pas trop sûr, mais je pensais c'est deuxième là. Let me help you develop. How about doing this doing it like this? I don't know.
Affiliative. Non, moi pas croire. Moi plus croire qu'il est do it my way.
Je sais pas, mais moi pas t'entends trop bien.
Yes, tu un peu loin, là, que ça y est.
Ah, ok. Maintenant.
Attends, c'est
Oui,
bon,
c'est
yes.
beaucoup mieux.
Ok. Non, mais dire visionary là, c'est pas trop si moi me plus croire c'est do it my way. Come on, keep up.
Affiliative.
Oh yeah, sorry, affiliative. I'm so sorry. Yes, je crois dit ça.
Mais si coaching que oui à ce moment-là.
Coaching living. Let me help you develop.
Let you develop
How about
this.
this?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So democratic, recensel. Let's
Do
so
it because I teach you.
let's work it out together.
Together, what do you think?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's work it out together. What do you think?
Yeah.
Vous autres?
Oui?
Moi, je suis
Yes.
vraiment désolée, mais moi, il y a une classe anglais qui commence à 95 et I'm very late.
Oh, ben non, c'est pas grave. Je te capable.
Non, mais on va pas sur l'épisode parce qu'il y a like efforts and time in doing this, that's why.
Ok. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good.
That's cute.
Pardon?
Je peux déjà sortir, mais le classe leçon qui commencer.
Ok, Herschel.
It's okay. We've reached the end de toute façon.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would like
Au
to
revoir.
thank you for your kind attention and for being present.
Yes. Thank you very much.
De rien.
Bye. So